speaking. Right, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to have a look at Eldar Jetbikes, and I'm hoping to reduce your learning curve with them. So first up, from a hobby point of view, I've got videos, if you look through my archives, on how to magnetize, how to convert shuriken cannons. I have videos on how to put proper guardians onto the jet bikes rather than the ones that they supply. So yeah, if you need any help on those things, go and check out my channel and do a search for my other videos. Right, now in terms of how to use these things, well, there's basically two ways to use these, and this is where I'm hoping to reduce your learning curve, because I've experimented in all manner of ways, and I've got two conclusions, and this is what I'm going to try and share with you. So the first way to use them is a very small unit of 3. Very useful if they're not going to be your core of your army. So for example, and if you're using an all jet bike army, well, tactics are different there. But if you're using just another form of army list, a small squad of jet bikes could actually be quite useful. And the reason for that is obviously you can reserve them, and they move incredibly fast. You know, a massive movement, and of course when you do move that fast speed, you get a slightly better cover save, so you get your 4+ cover save. You've got the option to take the shuriken cannon on every 3rd model, which is well worth doing, because these have the fantastic sort of movement in the assault phase facility. So the way you could use this, yes, you could zoom around the board, maybe zooming up and down your deployment zone, just trying to keep out of trouble, keep them alive. You could zoom sort of around the board, again trying to hide behind pieces of terrain and stuff. Or you could hide the very small unit behind a piece of terrain. You can then move out with the big gun, shoot, okay, 24 inches, but still quite reasonable, and it's strength 6. And then in the assault phase you can move back behind the piece of terrain, totally out of sight, which works really well. Now their weakness, of course, is there's only 3 of them. One dies, leadership 8, potentially you've got to run away quite easily, or indeed the whole unit's going to have got wiped out in one shooting phase. They can obviously claim objectives. Ideally these are, well, not ideally, but you know, they're only really going to work if you've got last turn. You know, last turn, zoom in, claim the objective, and then your enemy can't do anything about it because they haven't got another turn. If you're going first and you do that, obviously the chances are they are going to get shot down quite easily, or assaulted, because they're useless in assault. So you won't be assaulting here. To be fair, the guns underneath, they're really not going to do much. Even if you have a massive unit, you know, the biggest unit that you can get, they're still not going to do a huge amount. This gun though, the big gun, quite useful. And that's, I mean, it's not going to do a huge amount, but it's not bad for pop shots, especially if you can hide the bikes. So that's the first way to use them. The second way, which I've found, is to have a unit of 6. Now 6 for me is sort of the magic number, because it gives you 2 big guns and gives you a fair amount of numbers in terms of how many bikes you have for the points. I mean, you could get another 3, have one big squad of 9. Personally, I'd rather have units of 6, and I've personally found that units of 6 to work the best. I've tried units of 9. 6 just seems to be the magic number. Excuse me. Okay, so why is it the magic number? Well, it actually isn't the magic number, because it's 7. Enter a warlock, and this warlock has embolden, which means you can re-roll your leadership tests. Very useful, because they're only a leadership 8. At least you can re-roll it. Of course he won't be up front, because you don't want him to take all the shots, all the wounds. If you're interested in working out how I've done my warlock on a jet bike, again, check out my videos. I've got some videos on how I've achieved those. So yeah, actually 7 bikes is the magic number. Now this unit here, and in particular if you had 2 or maybe 3 units of these in a jet bike army, they're pretty good. I mean, I still have found that they're not really great at shooting. It's no good, running right up, trying to shoot a unit down, because it's not going to happen. If you've got 10 Marines there, you might kill a few from shooting, and even if you step back, the chances are now, especially with the large assault range, is that unit you just shot is going to move, assault you, and once you're in assault, you've had it basically with this unit. Right, yeah, something maybe I think I need to add, because I haven't really said it yet. So yeah, I've indicated that they're not that great at shooting, not that great at assault, so what's the point in taking them? And of course it's because they're scoring and fast moving. So yeah, the idea is to keep them alive as long as possible, either reserving, moving fast, fortuning them with the Farsi if you've got one around, and obviously to keep them alive for as long as possible, so at the end of the game they can move in and they can capture your objectives. So yeah, I thought I'd just need to put that in there because I didn't really say that. Okay, so back to the video. Obviously there are other options, putting a Farseer in there, but we're going to cover that in a different video. Oh, excuse me, I got a cough. Obviously the Farseer's fortune ability really helps these guys out. If you are in range to fortune them, and there's not much else to fortune, now these fortuned and moving fast with their 4+ cover save, very, very useful. So yeah, that's what I found with bikes, and like I said, my main objective here is to just help you reduce the learning curve. Don't bother taking a big unit of 9. Don't experiment with 4 jet bikes, 5 jet bikes. Go either 3 or go 6. If you have 6, ideally an emboldened warlock really, really will help you out. You could potentially have a group of 3 with an emboldened warlock, and I have done that. It makes the unit more durable, but it's a bit more expensive, of course, and of course they're still very susceptible to going down to a lot of shooting. So yeah, that was just a few thoughts for the jet bikes. Hopefully that was useful to you, and I shall see you in the next video.